Hello everybody, welcome to OCHD and welcome to another Jumputi Heroes news video. Today we're going to be talking about, well, you've seen it in the title, you've seen it in the thumbnail. It is Yo Asakura coming to Jumputi Heroes. For those of you who are new, Jumputi Heroes is a Japanese gacha game. It is an officially licensed weekly Shonen Jump mobile game. It's available on both Android and iOS. If you're playing on Android, you can download it from QApp. If you are playing on iOS, you will need a Japanese App Store account in order to download it. Now, the important note I want to make here is the officially licensed aspect. If you go on Google Play, there are a number of games you will find that say, you know, they have characters from One Piece and Dragon Ball and various other popular series, but they are not actually officially licensed by Shueisha. A lot of the time they steal their assets from games that are officially licensed, but the games themselves are not. So there's been no sort of clearance, no checks made by the people that actually have the rights to these characters before it's put on the App Store. But in the case of Jumputi Heroes, it is. The developers of this game work very closely with Shueisha. They have specifically worked with individual creators in the past. You know, the creator of like Roboco, the creator of Inamaru Dashi. We know there has been specific input from them to the dev team trying to get their series added to the game. This is part of Shueisha's big 50th anniversary celebration. I know we're past the 55th by now, but this was an officially licensed game. So why am I making such a big deal about it being official? Because we now have Yo Asakura from Shaman King coming to the game. And as far as anybody was concerned on the JP side of things, on the English-speaking side of things, this shouldn't have been possible. There are so many series missing from this game that we kind of didn't have the full information on why they weren't coming. Stuff like Slam Dunk, one of the biggest series in Jump's history, wasn't added to Jumputi Heroes. They were never very clear on why. Same with some newer series like Chainsaw Man, like Jujutsu Kaisen, have never been added. And they've been very vague. They've sort of said there were some issues, but they've never said why. But in the case of Shaman King, they didn't need to say anything, because everybody who knew about Shaman King knew that the creator left Shonen Jump, left Shueisha, and moved over to Kodansha to continue the production of the Shaman King series. At this point, it had moved on beyond Shaman King, and it was onto like the spin-offs and the sequels. But the point is, it was no longer part of Shueisha, and it is very obvious. I mean, if you go and look online, they've done full like new prints of the manga that are the Kodansha versions of the manga, no longer printed by Shueisha, and that sort of seemed like the nail in the coffin, the guarantee that this couldn't happen, even though this was a Shueisha, a Shonen Jump series. Time has passed, and there was just too many obstacles in the way. Like the idea of Hiroyuki Takei saying, yes, your game that is sort of overseen by Shueisha, that is all Shueisha properties, I'm giving it the okay for my series to be in there. Not just the author himself, but also, I would imagine, Kodansha would have to sign off on this as well. Assuming the rights are still with them, they are the ones distributing the manga, they would also still need to give the okay to that. And, well, here we are. The okay has been given. The developers have not given us any information as to how this has happened. They like to stay vague. There are still a few questions. Number one, we know that Yo is a seasonal we call them seasonals, but basically it just means they only appear on very specific gacha. They are locked to very specific, typically speaking seasonal, but time limited, time sensitive gacha. And when they put that title onto a character, that lets us know this character is going to be less accessible than a lot of the others. But one of the questions people have had is this it? Is Yo going to be added and then he's going to go away and we're never going to see him again? But is this like a one-time special thing? Because it could be. In some cases with other games, that's literally how it goes. You may have seen me play Kotodaman on this channel before. On that game, it's just there's a collab and then it goes. And if they decide to do a version 2 of the collab, maybe it will come back. But if not, you may never see those characters again. And so, I mean, the FOMO is quite bad, you know, because everybody has that fear of missing out on a really big character, potentially quite expensive character as well. And they just have no idea when they will be back, if they will be back. Bear in mind that Yo is coming, as far as we can see, by himself. There's no new event unit being added with him. Nothing, like no Legend Summon, no other Shaman King related content. It is just Yo, and technically Yo and Amida Maru, but just Yo, and that's it. And so, I don't know what to tell people. Obviously, I intend to go for him. So for me, it's not a big deal if he doesn't come back in the future. But for people that maybe are a bit light on rubies, which, considering how the game's been going recently, is not that surprising. Because, I mean, they've been quite generous, but they have been printing a lot of limited banners. So it's kind of tough. I don't know what to tell people that don't have enough to get him guaranteed. Hopefully, you'll be able to get enough while his banner is still being printed. We know it's coming out for Black Friday, but how long it will run for? I mean, sometimes these things run for a month, in which case this would be okay. But if it runs for shorter than that, then that could be a problem. It will be overlapping with Jump Festa most likely. If it is going from Black Friday, potentially a month onwards. I mean, that's covering Jump Festa. So maybe we get more information then. Maybe we get more information from the dev notes as to how this happened. They have mentioned in the past, you know, when they worked with the creator of Roboco, they sort of did a breakdown of like how this came to be. And so maybe they'll do the same there. But so far, all the devs have officially released. They haven't even officially released what I'm showing you today. That was from the data download. All they've officially shown us is the silhouette of Yo. And they just teased us. We just had to see, is it going to be him? But of course it was. From the silhouette, it was obvious. Of course it was him. Now, I guess for a lot of people, myself included, the big question would be, is this a situation where if this makes enough money or this is popular enough that maybe we get more Shaman King content in the future? Because in this game, we have feature festivals and they pick a series and they feature a ton of content from that series all at once. And everybody, I think, that is a Shaman King fan that sees this Yo being released is thinking, I would love a Shaman King feature festival. I would love to see Horo Horo. I would love to see Ren. I'd love to see Anna. There's so many characters I'd love to see included. But is that actually feasible? Is that on the cards? And we just don't know right now, which is really unfortunate. I am really hoping, if you look at the roadmap, it's so vague. There's so many parts that could be a feature festival, could be an ensemble event, but there's just no information there. Normally, they're very clear about series being featured, and they just haven't done that this year. There is a very real possibility that one of those events could be a Shaman King feature festival. Some people have speculated on the roadmap there is a Setsubun event. That could easily be a Shaman King feature festival, but we just don't know. I'm praying that we get updated information for Jump Festa and potentially for New Year Because last year they did that. They gave us additional information at Jump Festa that Roboco would be added and that they'd be working on more stuff for the rest of the year. And I think we got some additional information at New Year too. So fingers crossed that's what's going on here. Fingers crossed we are going to be at least fed just a few crumbs of information. But before all of that, Black Friday is coming up next week. And next week, Yo Asakura will be coming to Jumputi Heroes. If you're interested in playing the game and you haven't already got it downloaded, I will link in the description just how to do that. And, well, to everyone that is summoning, good luck to you all. There will be additional news. I've still got to talk about all the scared dance stuff, but that will be once we have the full news in game and once I've done the news post for the website. So until then, I'll see you all next time.